fuck up that warrior again. Alright, everybody, this is the 3G Podcast, episode 32, and this week, the last podcast before Christmas, we will be talking about all kinds of shit, including Greg's new addiction that is drawing him away from his... Do you want to call it an obsession or an addiction? And is a difference...
Obsession, given the number of hours, obsession's probably a better description.
Okay. The latest culprit that's drawing you away from your family duties. I also played a little bit of Trove, have some updates on Final Fantasy 15, which I want to talk about. And I thought we could try to do something a little Christmassy. One of those corny, things we're thankful for type segments, but I never really coalesced it into anything concrete in my head. So maybe just kind of gaming things we're thankful for in the year of 2016. But I don't want it to get too close to like the best game of the year type stuff. Just things we like, developments we like that happened this year. Does that sound good to everyone, or is that too lame?
It started off very, very, very lame, but you kind of pulled it back in a little.
Well, I mean, it is Christmas, so I do want to do that little Christmas, yay! You know, even though I'm pretty sure most everyone here is a rancid atheist god hater, but well, I mean,
well, Christmas is mostly a pagan holiday anyway. And
I don't hate Christmas. I prefer to do something closer to the Roman festival of Saturnalia. So, but that's just me.
Of course, it threw it at me. Stupid word. You know, Greg's there too.
Is what we will try to do this podcast, and of course cover a few other things, but well, let's just get this out of the way right now, because apparently it's a topic in the minds of some people. Tracer in Overwatch is apparently gay, or at least bisexual.
Oh, Jesus.
We don't know what, but I was assured on Twitter that people were having meltdowns about this, so naturally I went to go look, and I couldn't find anyone having a meltdown about it. I saw someone on the Battle.net forum crying about how their waifu was dead.
How their waifu was dead.
But other than that, I didn't see anything about this really, except for people who probably didn't even play the game gloating about it, as if someone somewhere was just massively aggrieved by this development. Until I got to GameFAQs, and that's where I saw people whining and bitching and moaning, and it was trolling. Let's just call it what it is, okay? So, the only question I really, really, really want to ask is, now that Tracer is a lesbian, is it okay to objectify her ass?
No, it's especially extra wrong.
Well,
is it extra wrong now?
She's not subject to the male gaze. She is a liberated woman free from all the tyranny of penises, so... Because she is not. If men are gazing at her, she's not free from the tyranny remember
of
6
men.
months ago when she had that pose and everyone's like, oh, she's overly objectified. But now that she's macking on some lesbian lips in a comic book, it's okay for her to be a sex symbol.
In a comic book.
Yeah. So, does that make it okay?
You read that guy's article or tweet or whatever it was where he was like, well, she's still an object for male gaze.
Yeah, the person who was not appeased by this...
Clearly it is not okay.
Of course, the person who wasn't appeased by it was Jonathan McIntosh, and if you don't know that name, the better off you are, who, despite having this token character given to SJWdom, still whined that it was a bunch of sexy characters that straight men would find hot. The whole idea of hot lesbians is... I guess the thing he was... So, the moral of the story is, yes, they have to be lesbians. The darker their skin tone, the better. But they also have to be incredibly ugly. It just... Any way that you can turn off male gamers, the better. I think he said the exact words that game developers need to be comfortable with making male gamers uncomfortable. So, I just want this to be a little bit of a lesson in appeasement. Namely that it doesn't fucking work.
And the people who made those little not comics, memes of Tracer staring at that purple chick's ass. They were doing some foreshadowing there. Huh?
I know. See, how is this even
coming.
news? According to the interwebs, Tracer has been a lesbian for a long time. Just not a very monogamous one. And apparently all the Overwatch cast gets involved in gangbangs at various points in time, according to the internet, so...
According to the internet.
Yeah, I don't...
Keywords.
I don't see why anybody cares.
According to the internet, everyone has done everyone. Especially in Overwatch.
Oh, yeah. So... I mean, as far as Overwatch is concerned, all those Overwatch girls are basically Lara Croft from 15 years ago. Are we good to move on? Ooh, a Jared in a menu.
I'm selling shit.
Mr. I'm never late to the podcast.
Well,
Losing.
Mean I'm, you know what?
How did you get back up there?
Yeah, I don't know how
That doesn't mean he ain't gonna fuck you over in the menu.
Yeah, apparently.
I died.
Okay. Oh, good. Well, good.
Oh.
So, can we all just oh, go on.
Yeah, somehow that little strip of lava in between.
Oh,
Griggs
yeah!
And,
I think we all know that little blip of lava. Yeah, there's an insta-kill zone on the Warrior map where if you run into it, you're gonna die.
why did I travel here?
I have no idea.
Yeah, how did we end up in the dust?
Yeah, go to some quest spot. We'll do some quests while we continue to babble about podcasty stuff.
Well, now I'm gonna sell stuff.
Has Jared picked out what we're doing yet? Or did I miss that?
If I can find it.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jared is the boss. So, can we all agree that this is a game with no character development, skin-deep characters...
Whatsoever.
No character growth, no character interaction, and that this
We're
is
selling stuff really quick.
utterly pointless, trivial tokenism that has no purpose except a virtue signal.
Considering the kind of game it is, it's stupid.
It's just...
In game, being the biggest Overwatch player here,
By far.
in game there's by far there's not token Overwatch player. There's no character development. There's no story. There's nothing. Nothing.
Oh,
You shouldn't expect anything. But what how many characters are there? 20, 26, 21, 22, something like that?
I have no idea.
In the 20s, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, what is so wrong with one of them being gay or bisexual?
I just don't like virtue signaling. I find it annoying.
She can be gay all she wants, but it doesn't really matter.
I utterly don't
no
care.
None of it.
Story.
None of it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised you haven't brought up your little meme that you made yet.
Oh, yeah, I made a StarCraft meme where there was like a Zergling rush, and I pointed at one of the Zerglings and said, this Zergling is gay. That's basically all this is.
Because that's pretty much the equivalent of
Well,
what they're doing.
outside of the game, Blizzard has a whole bunch of cool little movies, short movie clips. I'm sure you've seen them.
Yes.
Have you watched
No.
them?
No, I don't care.
No.
They are
I have no
Pixar
interest.
quality.
Yeah.
For starters, they are Pixar quality. They're really good. They're worth watching. And they also have comics.
You guys
They have
ready?
all these. And all of this is the equivalent to, like, remember when Destiny had the? He revived. Remember when Destiny had you go to a different website to read up on the lore?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, this is unassuming docks of potentially little importance. I like it.
Look at the rainbow.
This is one step. This is one step away from that. They like to.
So, can we just admit that this is trivial bullshit?
I was gonna let the game tell its story, but yeah, this is trivial bullshit.
Okay.
But
And-
they do like developing their characters outside of the game, and this is part of that.
See, this is my take on that, and we'll use this as a segue, because it's actually a pretty good segue into another topic. Supplemental materials for games, I couldn't care less about them. If it was important enough that it's supposed to mean something to me, you should have put it in the fucking game. If it's not in the game, I don't care. Exactly parallel with Destiny. Oh, but it's got all this backstory and lore. No, it's not in the fucking game. The website has backstory and lore. Alright? I'm not reading a book or watching a movie or going to a fucking website because you were too fucking lazy to actually put some story and character development in your game. Which is why with the gay characters in Dragon Age Inquisition, it actually impacted them. They were actually characters that had growth and depth and development, and it mattered. But this is just... It's just waving that fucking rainbow-colored flag. So...
Yeah, it's pretty much just saying, oh, we have a gay character like us now.
Yeah. I mean,
the caveat to all this is, does your game type support this?
No, it doesn't. Not for Overwatch. It's just kind of there.
It doesn't. Yeah, Overwatch's gameplay and the type of game it is doesn't support character development or story or any of this other stuff. They missed that chance when they released it as is, you know?
You can literally take any character from any game and make up fan fiction about it, or just say, this character, these pixels are gay. The only difference this time is that the developer said it. So, and speaking of supplemental material...
Are you serious?
That doesn't matter. What are we serious about?
The fact that she is DMing this and the environment just changed based on her dialogue.
I want to send you that thing I made.
Slightly clever. I like it. I've never played this.
I never have either. I think we played that
you have
Game
to,
of
You have to
Thrones
excuse
thing.
me.
You're
He
gonna
loves
be gushing.
Tiny Tina and...
I do love Tiny Tina.
You are a bad person. But speaking of supplemental material that I couldn't care less about, let's go to Final Fantasy 15.
Is it... One more point. Is it hurting anyone? This whole thing. Is it hurting anyone? Is it bothering anyone? Is it such a big deal that a character is bisexual or gay?
I
mean, out of 20
irrelevant.
plus people,
I would say...
Wouldn't you expect one of them to be bisexual or gay just based on odds?
I would expect them to be bland characters in a arena shooter.
Everyone's trying to bring life to lifeless characters.
I find it kind of
people
pathetic.
have
When
always done
you
that.
take that,
Just make
when
one
you
of the...
take that into account.
Just want to make one of the Gauntlet characters gay. I mean, for all it matters.
Well, yeah, why not? Who cares?
I mean, it's just... I find it pandering, honestly. It doesn't harm anyone, but if I was a gay person, and since I don't buy that whole, you're not this
You are all
demographic, so
dying.
you can't talk. Yeah, we're fighting a dragon that can't be hit by anything. Oh yeah, and our fight for your life bar isn't moving, so... I would honestly find it insulting, frankly. I mean, if people were trying to pander to me, it'd be like them making a character like, okay, Winston is now an atheist. Look, atheists, we pandered to you. Give a fuck if some monkey is an atheist in a video game? How does that explore the topic at all? And more importantly, I don't want to...
He is the key character to be an atheist, by the way.
Okay, well, wonderful. But good, I guess my guess.
Well, because he's a monkey. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Darwin is But
Stupid BK's Death Drop.
I don't really want to
Get that back.
explore that topic in gaming. I just want to play a fucking video game and shoot people. So, frankly, the more you keep that shit out of games, the better I am. But, you know, that's just me. I want to play games to have fun, not to fucking argue social platforms.
Is it pandering when it's in supplemental material that you have to go look for?
Yes. It's even more
What?
pandering than it would be otherwise.
No.
Yes. Dorian was
No.
substantial, and the character actually said something. It was actually a believable
Some people
character.
think the exact opposite of
Well,
you.
some people
because it's in the game, it's pandering.
Some people are wrong.
If it's part of the
Okay.
character, like, deeply part of the character, and
They did Dorian. I liked how they did Dorian.
Exactly. That's
affects
why I'm
their-
using him as an example.
affects their character arc significantly, then it's not pandering, because that's the character. That's just the character and who they are.
Now, see, I kind of will take that back a little
Whereas
bit and
if
go...
you just take a random character like, I don't know, say one in Overwatch and just in supplemental material go, oh yeah, she's gay.
Well, how many backstories
cares?
have they done in Overwatch already? A few.
No, I don't
They've done a
read
few.
any of
Nobody.
it.
Yeah,
I
I know
don't
you.
give a
I
shit
know you
about
guys
any of
don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
I'm leading the discussion. I already know the answers. They have a few. So they get around to the character that they were going to have be bisexual or gay, whichever. They reveal it, and now it's a big deal. No, for all we know, this was already planned.
We do know it's already planned because they've been talking endlessly about diversity, and that's one of the things that clues you into it being pandering. They've been talking for months about there being a gay character in Overwatch that they had to reveal, and how they want their cast of characters to be diverse. It's like, just shut up and make a fucking game. It's nothing but social pandering. That's all it is. And you know, because they pretty much come out and said it at every turn, that this is what they want to do. They want to do social pandering. It has absolutely no impact on the game itself. So, that's how you know it is. Exactly social pandering.
That is what they want to do.
Yes. And frankly, I don't care. Make it interesting, make it a character, right? I mean, what, 3% of people are actually gay? I thought it was 10%, but it turns out that was bogus. It's about 3%. The thing is, it's not
gay or
statistics.
Gay
well, see, that's what they're doing, just like with autism. Why are there so many more autistic people today? I don't know, because everything's fucking autism now.
There's immortal Skeletars. You have to get behind them and remove the sword from their back.
Once they're down?
Really?
When they're down.
Okay. But yeah, that's why you see that LGBTQ shit getting longer and longer and longer, right? It's because they're lumping more people in so they can say, see, there's a lot of us. I mean, you just got to ignore the fact that a lot of feminists don't like trans people and all that other shit, and let them pretend they're a voting bloc.
Feminists like trans people. They don't like gay people who are cisgendered.
Well, no, whatever. I'm not going into the rabbit hole of surf and turf and all that other fucking politics, but it's essentially the same thing. They're expanding the category arbitrarily. Anyways, let's move on. I want to go to Final Fantasy 15. I don't want this to be another SJW rant episode. I played a little bit more Final Fantasy 15, and I want to actually give the game an award. It's worked very, very hard to earn my respect in one category. Final Fantasy 15 now has the personal HaeravonFAQs award for the most annoying character in a game, and that is Prompto. I finally went over the edge. He annoys me more than any other Final Fantasy character I've ever fucking had the displeasure of playing. From fucking Selphie, to Riku, to fucking Vaughn. Any of them. Even over Hope. He has supplanted Hope as
He's
the
worse
worst
than Hope?
fucking character. And he did it in the last 2 dungeons I was in, where he would constantly talk every fucking step I took with that annoying, high-pitched, unbelievable douchebag voice of his, whining, bitching, and moaning about everything, from the fucking heat, to the stairs, to the enemies, to just the amount of time that they were doing this shit, to having to camp outside. I fucking hate this goddamn character with a burning passion.
So would you say you dislike him?
Mildly.
Okay.
So, I'm kind of like Jim Cornette when it comes to new wrestling, when it comes to Prompto. And I think that's a reference only Rebecca will understand. But I can't stand this character. I can't stand their attempts to be modern with this game, where you'll get into a fight and Prompto will say, "Oh, this is kind of like a live-action RPG." No, you fuck! Shut the fuck up! I hate you! Choke on a dick and die! I hate everything about this fucking character. And it's spilling over because all the other characters, you know, it's not just him, it's the setting he's in, and the other characters kind of fall victim to it too. You go to camp and you're sitting there and all your characters are sitting there flipping on their fucking cell phones. I'm just like, this is a video game about a cast of characters who I absolutely detest. So, yeah. Just some developments on my Final Fantasy 15 playing experience. And yeah, that shit that Jonathan said, oh, you will cry at least twice during it. No, I fucking won't. I will put
well,
that up.
maybe you don't have a heart.
Maybe I don't. Or maybe I have a brain. There
Is
are
it
more
either
than one.
or?
No, but there are at least two options. And they are not mutually exclusive, by the way.
Lame.
Yeah, these things are kind of assholes. I should be using my fire gun.
I was just trying to fill in the map, but now I'm running where there's no map. Like, it's not kicked.
You know better.
I'm with
So,
Jared.
On the other
good.
hand, and see, something that kind of highlighted this is, at the part of the game I'm in, well, one, you had to do two really fucking stupid stealth segments. I'm just like, why? You're barely nailing your fundamentals, now you're gonna throw in a crappy stealth segment? Whatever.
Okay, we're rolling dice to unlock these chests. You see this, right?
I saw that. They're trying to pull all their RPG cred they can. But
yeah, they are.
they introduced another character, Arania, is that her name?
Aranea.
Aranea, right, okay. And she's actually pretty fucking cool. And it just makes all
Is
the other
she the
characters
Dragoon
seem...
chick that I
Yes.
see, like, in the screenshots?
Yes, and she's badass. But...
As Dragoons tend to be.
Yeah, it just makes all the other characters seem worse by comparison. And it's just... So many elements of this story are just so sloppy, so poorly put together, so poorly done. I can't fathom how anyone can play through this game and objectively go, yep, characters, story, world, nailed it. I just... It's not even a matter of taste at this point. I'm objectively willing to say this game has a shitty story and a shitty cast. I know I can't fucking do that, because it's not an objective thing, but at some point, it has to be so obvious to so many people that if you don't share this opinion, you're just in the weird niche. Or you're an apologist. And there are definitely a lot of those out there, whose names shall not be mentioned. But, yeah. So, the guide is actually okay. I'm not having a bad time with the guide, or the combat. It's just, every time I have to do any of the story, I just find myself groaning with dismay. and going, how? At some point, you have to be willing to go, okay, I've eaten like 18 different meals on this plate, and a number of them were so rancid I had to throw them out before I could even serve them. And at some point I just need to wash the plate and try to start over with a new meal, and it doesn't look like Final Fantasy 15 ever came to this conclusion. Like, you're constantly running into signs of development hell with this game. So, yeah. There's my Final Fantasy 15 update.
Spatula Con.
And no, I think we can safely say that this is not going to be my Game of the Year 2016. So I can remove that from
But
contention.
Given all of that, is it top 10?
What, top 10? I don't even have a 10 list.
Have you even played 10 games?
No, I don't think I have this year.
Well,
So
you've
it's
been
top
doing
10.
updates on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I was doing lots of updates on stuff.
By default, that's not a win, though.
I'm sure they'd take it as a win.
Well, yeah. It's just like when
I didn't finish the map.
it's just like when I tell my dad, "Yeah, you're the best dad I've ever had." Until I go to prison.
You gotta take your wins. Oh dear God! You gotta take your wins when you can sometimes.
Yes, especially if you are Final Fantasy 15. I'm not saying it's a bad game. There are good parts about the game. It's just on your screen at any given point in time, there are going to be 4 annoying black objects that are going to make you hate playing the game a lot of the time.
In a game where story is supposed to be the main focus and drive.
If story was the main focus and drive, we would not have gotten this game. But I do something bad on this podcast a lot. I will bitch and I will bitch and I will bitch and I will never build anything up. So I told Rebecca this earlier, and I had a plan. Because naturally, when you're in pain, when you're suffering, you think of ways at which you could have avoided this, or that it could have been done in such a way to mitigate the pain, right? So I was doing that with Final Fantasy 15. I was suffering through the story, guys. And I was naturally thinking, okay, what could they have done? The simplest, least amount of changes to make these characters more interesting. And so I came up with this, and I want your opinion on it, Jared, because you played it. And Greg, just as a story standpoint. Okay. I want to change as little as possible, right? So the first thing I would do, besides including some of the fucking shit in Kingsglaive into the fucking game, I shouldn't have to look at a wiki to know that the days are getting shorter because the fucking world suffers from star blight or some shit.
They explain it.
Oh, so you just have to get 80% of the way through the game to hear about it? Because that's kind of narrative shit too, you know? Okay, at least they explain it, whatever. It should be somewhere at the beginning of the game. Because this has to be something that my character would presumably have known about ahead of time, right?
I don't know. I guess they don't know.
Okay, well,
You get some kind of resemblance to why it happens and stuff like that.
Well, I don't care if they know exactly why, just if they know that it is actually happening. I mean, they know it's a thing, right? I also read some shit about how, like, they plan to have the characters worshipping some Reaper gods, but then they cut it because it might be too cult-like for the Japanese, or the Chinese audience. Fucking China. And, you know, so I guess...
More pandering.
Yeah, pandering to the Chinese and their commie fear of cult, but whatever. Let me get to this.
We've been in this little expansion for a little while.
I think we did. I'm remembering.
Familiar.
Yeah, I'm remembering a Game of Thrones reference I've had. Okay, but anyways, Noctis is still the son of the fucking King of Lucis, right? You're not going to change that. That's too much work. All the characters kind of stay the same, more or less, in their roles. I guess Prompto might have to go in my scenario, because the way I'm thinking of it, there's no need for him. Tear. So you know that I'm sad by this development. But, Noctis is not the, you know, shut-in, live-at-home, crown prince, spoiled, do-nothing his whole fucking life, douchebag, whiny, rich fuck that no one likes. He's an illegitimate child, right? Because, you know, the king's a fucking king, and the king does king shit. And the problem is, you don't know who the crystal is going to choose ahead of time to be the successor, to have the power, whatever the hell you want to call it. So it turns out that it is this illegitimate kid of his, off in wherever the fuck land. Let's just say Lead, right? Noctis grew up in Lead, in the wilderness. And the beginning of the story is him being visited by the king's agents, which could include Kor and Ignis and Gladiolus, and their job is to bring him back to the capital because he's been chosen by the crystal, and his whole world just is starting out at the beginning of the game, getting flipped upside down, right? And he's on his way there, and then the events of Chapter 1 happen, and it all goes down just like this. Now that, I think, is a relatively minor change. It would just require some cutscenes at the beginning to get you to that point. And from then you could move on with a much more interesting Noctis, Gladiolus, and Ignis, whose motivations would be a little, you know, less obvious. And then it wouldn't be Noctis, just this spoiled, pampered fucking princeling that has to grow up into this power. I think it's a more interesting dynamic that now he has this destiny of his thrown on him a lot more quickly and with a lot less ridiculous fault on the part of Regis, the king, whatever. Because, again, you don't know who's going to be chosen by the crystal until later. And we can say this happens later in life. You know, maybe puberty, because it looks like Noctis just fucking hit it. So, there's my minor change that I think would make the story, the characters at least, much more interesting. Everything after that, as far as I know, can proceed as it has so far. And again, I haven't beaten the game, so I don't know.
Radio.
How does that sound to you, Jared?
Sounds good.
Okay, and make Noctis a little less insufferable. Now, you could have also done a little bit more work, but that was just my solution to make these characters a little less annoying. You can also have the king have legitimate heirs back at home. And
there you go.
after the king, with the stuff would have happened at the end of Chapter 1, they could have surrendered politically, which is what happens anyways. And then you have this conflict of interest between Ignis, Gladiolus, and your character, because he's the illegitimate son, but he's got the backing of the crystal. He's the fated one, right? But the legitimate heirs at home had to capitulate politically to the Empire, and they might be willing patsies, they might actively dislike their illegitimate brother who was chosen by the crystal over them. You could play this in a bunch of different ways, and you could force Ignis and Gladiolus to have to wonder, well, are we going to just support the crystal's choice, the one the crystal wants to give this power to, or are we going to care about our country as a political entity? And I think just with those changes right there, you've all of a sudden made a much more interesting and dynamic game. And that's just off the top of my head, while I'm suffering through this fucking ill-thought-out, juvenile mess of a game that is Final Fantasy 15's story. And I wouldn't call myself a first-rate storyteller, but then again, after this, I have to say I'm better than Square Enix. Because, 8 years and all they can come up with is a chosen prince and a bunch of bland buddies that follow him blindly, and crystal, light, darkness, demons, evil empire. Just like they checked off every fucking cliche they possibly could. Like, how do we make this... No, we're going to make this game so interesting by including the most cliche stereotypes possible. Because if we include so many, it'll statistically be improbable for any one game to have all of them, and hence it will have lapsed into the realm of unique. Okay, I'm done.
You know what? I rather like the whole illegitimate child is the one chosen by the crystals and siblings of the, legit siblings of the legit children of the king might find a problem with that and try to hamper you along the way for political reasons.
Or they might even just do it out of sheer survival, or they might go, yeah, the crystals
or
are
jealousy.
What the fuck ever. Or jealousy, or they might just have a loyalty to the actual state and its people.
Do 4 or 5 legit children, give them each a motive.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them actually likes the crystals or follows the religion a lot closer. I don't know.
I don't even know if there's a force behind this crystal, how the gods are all connected to it. But it could come down to the point where the legitimate kids have kind of a point, where the gods are fighting this other primeval force, and they don't actually care about the kingdom or its people. And if you do what you do, which is going through with their will, you're going to fuck a lot of shit up. So, and
see, 12 had a lot of these ideas before it was bastardized.
They were just poorly implemented with bland characters. See, I don't know why Square Enix does this. It's like they come up with stories that are workable, and they go, well, God, I don't know. There might be some 8-year-old in China who doesn't like it, so maybe we should run focus groups.
Pass.
Yeah.
The forest of being eaten alive by trees.
Well, that's a rather direct force.
Well, there's trees.
Treants, don't be a racist. Oh, what did I get shocked by?
That thing was, it's shooting you with some magical orbs or some shit.
Yeah, well, that happens. And see, you could even go further with this story idea. Your choices in the game could impact how your royal scions react, whether they side with you, whether they join you, whether they remain neutral. But that would require choice and branching storylines and work. So I didn't actually put that...
They spent 8 years making it look pretty. They didn't have time for any substance.
I didn't actually put that into my suggestion for the game because I knew that was too outlandish. So... But those are just my baseline ideas for what could have, with very little work, have made the game much better. You could have kept most of the characters, most of the areas, most of the set pieces. You'd had to add a few more cutscenes in. I know, it's hard. Sometimes games require you to do some work to make them interesting. And focus groups are entirely fucking wrong. You know what? They should just pay me to tell them what to do. They should come over with a half-baked, mediocre story full of shit characters, and I'll go, okay, instead of shit characters, let's try interesting ones. Instead of superficial motivations or no motivations, let's try to put motivations.
You realize I expect a hell of a lot out of The Witcher 3, thanks to you, right?
Go for it. Play it.
It'll deliver.
It's going to deliver, huh?
I mean, it's not fucking perfect. I'm not going to sing praises over its combat, but compared to Final Fantasy 15, yeah, the story and the characters are much, much, much better. So, that's just my opinion, right? We're not game journalists here. We just are glorified rebloggers that give our. Oh wait, no, that would make us game journalists, wouldn't it? All right, that does.
Is there a difference?
No, that's the point. There isn't anymore.
Yeah.
I need to find this quote because it was hilarious. Twitter was being very generous to me yesterday. I found a few things that I. This is going off into a little bit of a tangent. Load, you bastard, Facebook. There we go. By IGN staff, there's a tendency among the press to attribute the creation of a game to a single person, says Warren Spector, creator of Thief and Deus Ex.
Oh, that's so good.
I saw that and I was like, IGN, what did we do to deserve you? And
There's no way that wasn't completely on purpose.
See, IGN, I don't even dislike them, really. I think they're one of the less atrocious game sites out there now. I mean, because of how many of them have fallen by the wayside. IGN has moved
less than ideal.
IGN has moved up in the ranks by doing nothing at all. Oh man, they've set a baseline for mediocrity, and that has actually improved their overall standing by the degrading quality of the journalist community. All right, let's move on to something fun. I don't got a good segue this time. For JRPGs that might not totally suck balls, Dragon Quest XI is going to launch in 2017 in Japan. It is being worked on for the PS4, the Nintendo Switch, and the 3DS. So hey, if you bought a Wii U, don't you feel even more like a sucker now?
There's a level 76 thing over there.
Go get it. I got faith in you.
Because you're not supposed to go over there.
Oh yeah.
That's what she's talking about.
It doesn't even care, dude. I'm sitting there shooting it and it's like, ha ha. Oh, Jared.
And now we're dead.
No, Jared understands how this works.
No, I don't.
Oh, never mind. I thought. Okay. So we saw the opening movie. We saw a character. There are two character movies. One for the purple-clad squire character, and for his blue-haired thief buddy. I do have to say about the art, I like it because it's Dragon Quest, and I'm a utter douche tool.
It's pretty standard for Dragon Quest.
I don't care.
I like it.
I love Dragon Quest. There is a bit of a disconnect, though, when you see, like, the thief character. This is a scene that just popped to my mind. The thief character pulls off his cowl, and it's like this super high-resolution, well-animated fabric, and then it's, you know, over the one-tone Dragon Quest cell-shaded face. So, I do think that was kind of a bit weird.
Dude, purple.
But otherwise, no, I'm totally... I loved everything I saw in that trailer. I don't know who all the main characters are going to be, but they showed like a little character in a cloth hat or a sock hat. They showed a dwarf. They showed a purple-haired chick, some ladies' man with black hair, a very boring blonde chick. You know, so I don't know if these are all going to be playable characters. If so, that would be a really huge party.
Old guy.
Yeah, well, you like
Torbjorn
or whatever his name is on Overwatch.
Torbjorn.
Yeah, you definitely like the
He's not
old bearded
old.
guy. He's a dwarf. What does it matter? What's the difference?
What's the difference between being old and being a dwarf?
Yes.
One has to do with age? I'm so confused.
Never thought about this, did we?
You're a very confusing individual.
I try.
Anyways, he at the end he was jumping into combat with the claws. That was pretty neat.
So I'm hoping that
heck?
all these characters are playable. Oh wow, that's a lot of shit. Is any of it any good?
There's a purple siren mod here.
Necromancer.
Siren.
Meh. I say
Oh, it's
no.
almost all Siren. I guess we are mostly Sirens.
Well, half.
Half.
Yeah. So, I
So,
do. I hope a lot of these characters are playable. If not all of them, I'd take all of them. That's
you know
playable.
what? I'm sure they will be.
I hope so.
There's no way they won't be. But the most interesting part about that trailer to me was the 3DS version.
Yeah, so 2D
Right?
top-down isometric.
Can you
no,
argue?
no. It's been 20 years. I don't care to play Shining Force again, or the original Dragon Quest. I couldn't care less about that. I guess it's nice for people who want to spend a lot of money to play a game.
Get an inferior version.
Yeah, to get an inferior version of a game that, whatever.
Why would they make this on two completely different systems like this? That
I
seems so
don't know.
odd to me.
Like, the 3DS is going to get, both versions of the game, essentially? A very crappy-looking 3D version, and then the 2D old version?
This is what I heard. The 3DS version, you play up to a certain point, then you can pick either to go with the 2D version or the 3D version.
Oh, that's weird. That's a lot less interesting than I thought it would be. I thought you'd just be able to switch at will.
Yeah, I thought it was just
I think
both.
you can switch at will.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I'm not sure. I mean, hey, look, works.
I mean,
See, the weird thing was Dragon Quest IX was entirely that way.
Ugh, no thanks. No wonder I didn't play that
I mean,
one.
did you never play 9?
No, is it only on
I
mobile?
played a little bit.
It's only on 3DS, yeah.
Okay, that's why I skipped it then.
Let's hope we don't get that fucking idiot.
As a big
Big
fan
ass.
of... I'll call myself a big fan of Dragon Quest, but really my only exposure to it is Dragon Quest VIII, Dragon Quest Heroes, and Dragon Quest Builders. So I think it should become clear kind of what I like about it, and that's pretty much only the modern shit where they put on the big boy pants and try to make a game for people who can afford a console.
I've actually played through Dragon Quest everything but 7. Like, I literally played the Game Boy Color version of 1 and 2.
Yep, there goes Warlord.
But it's a little bit like Final Fantasy. You know how Final Fantasy has those games that have the job system?
Yeah.
3, 5,
I wonder if they're going to have a job system in Dragon Quest
12 to an
11.
extent.
Because that would totally explain the large roster size.
Well, if I had to guess, I'm going to say no, just based on the characters they have.
They do seem
But
archetypes.
that was Dragon Quest 9. It had the job system.
And
Yeah,
you're gonna
otherwise-
raise me? No.
Otherwise, why would you call a character a
Thanks.
thief? I didn't know where you were.
Fuck, sorry.
I was too busy trying to win. Trying to stay alive. But I found absolutely nothing in this trailer I didn't like. They showed a little bit of the gameplay where essentially a dude's just riding his horse. I'm not sure how much gameplay that is.
Yeah, there wasn't too much gameplay there.
They also apparently have the monsters on the map now, but it looked like all the slimes were kind of just chilling out, ignoring him. So I don't know what that was about.
Which is the biggest thing. Basically, monsters aren't going to run into you and attack you, from what it looked like to me. I mean, unless they had it like that just for that demonstration or something.
I think
it's that way in Dragon Quest VII on the 3DS, where the monsters will chase after you if they see you on the map.
I think one of the monsters did something hostile, but all the slimes were just like, whatever, and he was just standing in a field full of monsters not getting bothered, so, I don't know.
That was probably just part of the trailer.
Probably.
Hard to tell.
Maybe
but it's coming.
Just like
It's
that
coming.
character, and they don't attack him. He's the slimy friend.
Rebecca didn't seem nearly as enthused about it as I did, but she's a soulless
care.
person. She has no she has no heart. There's no love or
Do we need to
Yeah.
turn in this quest, Jared?
Yeah, we'll do it after.
there's no love or goodness in her whatsoever. So.
I think in 13 years, you know that's true.
Yeah. I'm speaking from authority here. So. But I just hope we don't have to wait too much longer than Japan to get it. Hopefully we still get it in 2017. Hopefully they get theirs like summer, we get ours fall. I know I'm being optimistic. We probably won't, but I would be A-okay with playing Dragon Quest XI in 2017. Just saying.
Now here goes the main quest. You know what? Fucking Torg, shut up.
No, seriously, Torg. My character's a screaming gun nut in this game.
Well, Torg ain't really a gun nut, he just likes explosions.
Oh, fair enough. Greg, Jared, thoughts on this game?
Dragon
Quest
Quest
11? Yeah.
I mean, we don't really know much about it besides what they showed off a little bit of the characters.
So speculate. That's what all the news agencies do.
You know, it looks like they're doing their best to emulate the success Dragon Quest VIII had to me.
Good.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because from 8 to 9, they went from big story, character-driven game to, back to the job system.
I think it's obvious why they're including both versions of the game. I think they think the 2D crap one will sell better in Japan, while the 3D one will,
Either that.
get better reception from all the adults in the world.
Either that, or they have a contract with Nintendo to deliver.
Yeah. That could be true too.
Because think about it, all these games have been coming out on the 3DS.
That is true. So now, Jared and I, we almost got into a knife fight over who's going to write about this game, but I think we both mutually decided to postpone it until later.
It's a long way coming.
Yeah, and we will be trying to sabotage each other all throughout the rest of the year. Not that I've sent any private messages to Claire saying that your Dragon Quest VII guide wasn't a good indicator of whether you'd be good at Dragon Quest XI, because they're two totally different types of games or anything. What? Alright, enough fucking around. So, anything else on Dragon Quest XI? Can we just all agree that anyone who has a heart and a soul and loves good and light and justice in the world will look forward to this game?
You need to play more Dragon Quest.
No, I'm going to stick to the ones that I actually look interesting to me. I don't need to go back to...
What are these pixies, Jared?
They give you buffs, dude.
Yeah, if you catch them.
Oh.
If you catch them.
Like if you, you have to... Damn it, you fucking... Okay, there. I got her. Like, this one's killing me.
She's kind of a slut,
right,
isn't
but
she?
you still didn't say what you had to do.
You basically have to, interact with them.
Okay. Well, they show up as red on the map, and I dislike that.
Okay, so what are we doing now? Return to Davlin?
So, here's a segue for you. Nobody's clamoring to write a Mario Run game?
No.
Game guide?
No.
No?
No.
When to press A?
You have to tap at
When to
certain
press
points
the jump button?
and jump off walls and then get coins and then collect different colored coins and then collect different colored coins.
You can do all of that in a guide. As soon as the level begins, wait 3 seconds. Press jump.
No.
Wait 5 seconds.
No. That will not work
jump.
because no one is going to be sitting there with the game and a stopwatch. You just say...
Well, that's the prerequisite to them using your guide.
Here's my
bridge. Press jump.
Here's my Super Mario Run guide. Get good, collect coins. Collect different colored coins. Collect different colored coins. Collect different colored coins. Collect different colored coins. Pay Nintendo $10. There.
Well, I think that was the first step, isn't it?
Yeah.
You went so out of order there.
I don't
See?
care.
My
Yeah,
guide
well,
would
you
have been
said-
way better.
When to press A, so neither one of you knows what you're fucking saying right now.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're
sorry.
both drunk.
We skipped something on Final Fantasy 15. It got an update recently, which did eventually download for me, and Apparently they threw in New Game Plus in case somebody wanted to suffer through the story twice for some reason.
What'd you
Can't
skip?
imagine why. Huh? Who skipped what?
He skipped mentioning the update.
Oh yeah, yeah, an update. New Game Plus. You basically keep everything, as far as I can tell, from what I've read, except your engine blade is reduced back to its original quality. So, Jared didn't seem very interested in the New Game Plus mode.
Well, basically, everything, you keep everything except for your hunts, your side quests, and obviously the story. Progress resets.
So in case you really wanted to play
it's
through the
better
story.
than not having a New Game Plus mode, right?
Yeah. I don't particularly need hard mode or whatever to go through a game again. I do like the incentive of going through it to get different loot, but I'd have to actually like the game more. What was that, Jared?
And I said there was a badass archer.
Oh. Was it behind that badass nut? Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's dead now.
So there. We mentioned obligatory...
You know what else got a New Game Plus mode? Was Dishonored 2
Oh, yes.
recently.
Go on, talk about it.
That was actually a nice New Game Plus. I'll let Greg talk about it if he wants.
Well, you also get to use the other character's powers if you want.
I can only imagine the kind of comboing that goes on with that.
Oh yeah, like that. Remember that 35-minute speed run we were talking about? Like
Yeah.
3 days after the game came out, 4 days, whatever it was. You know, super fast. I'm sure they've cut it in half by now.
Now that you have all those abilities and whatnot, I really need to play that. I need to play that because it's a legitimate contender for my goatee, especially now. Right, and one more note on Super Mario Run. It's been downloaded 40 million times. I think it's only out on Apple right now. iOS, whatever. And there's no actual sales data for it, though. So I guess a lot of people were willing to waste
Can
their
you
time.
download it without paying $10?
Yes. Yeah, you get a demo for free, and then you have to pay $10 to unlock the rest of it later.
Yeah.
So only Nintendo could get away with this kind of shit, honestly.
Well, they do have the brand name on lockdown.
No, I just mean offering so little and essentially just cloning an existing IP, but putting their characters on it, and then everyone treating it like it's a fucking revelation of gameplay.
Oh my god, Nintendo.
Nintendo did something someone else did, but with their own characters? Best game on mobile ever!
Pretty much.
We got fire damage.
I have fire damage. Why does it matter?
Yeah.
I do.
I do
You
not.
have to light the bonfire with fire damage, it says.
Oh. Where's the bonfire at?
What's the bonfire?
What the hell is blowing me? Oh.
Right over here.
Okay, I'll just try to find Jared.
What the fuck is Jared?
I see it.
There. Aren't I awesome? So, speaking of video game companies fucking people over and everyone thinking it's a good idea, let's go back to everyone's favorite franchise, The Witcher. They've released a, GameSpot called it a not safe for work cosplay
I saw that.
calendar. Yes. And
Oh, really?
I think some woman face here is in love. It's really good cosplay though.
It is.
So, yeah. Only problem is they want $29 for it out the gate, and then shipping's like another 12. So
Is it benefiting some charity or something?
not that I know of,
Their pockets.
but it's really good
So
Witcher
GameSpot's
cosplay.
just trying to make an extra buck on the side with
No, it's not GameSpot.
Witcher cosplay?
It's not GameSpot. It's fuck, I can't remember the name of the cosplay that did it. Hold on, Maul Cosplay, M-A-U-L,
Yeah,
Maul,
Maul.
as in the hammer. So
The fuck just jumped on my face?
They do really good cosplay of that game. It's a little on the ridiculous side. And I am about to get downed by this badass skeleton. Stop using a shield to protect yourself. What kind of gameplay crap is that? So yeah, it's about $40 if you actually want to buy it. But Rebecca loves herself some Witcher, so you'd have to be a real
the target audience here.
I have a birthday coming up.
She wants it.
You'd have to be a real dork to want it. So
You'd have to actually love your girlfriend and actually buy her what she wants for her birthday.
Yeah. Wow. People out there.
I think I'm getting a little bit of...
birthday presents are perfect for things that you want, but you wouldn't pay for yourself.
I'm getting a little bit of innuendo here, but I can't really make it through this. Women are such complicated, weird creatures. They're basically like unicorns. I can't fucking figure it out. Alright. And we got more Witcher 3 shit, because this is my podcast,
We'll see if I'm single in a few weeks here.
I might be writing from the street. The Witcher 3 developer CD Projekt Red has received almost $30 million in crazy, not real money, $7 million in real money, from the Polish government
for
the purposes of researching new gaming features. The Polish developer announced the funding recently via WCCF Tech, which comes from Poland's National Center for Research and Development Game In Program. CD Projekt Red put in 4 proposals for funding, all of which were approved. This reminds me of 2 things. One, that South Park episode where Terrence and Phillip is like a huge part of Canada's gross domestic product.
Canada's budget, yeah.
Yeah, and that also reminds me, on a less humorous note, of 38 Studios getting a lot of government money and fucking it up.
Yeah, from, what's that? Massachusetts? Or Maine? Or shit,
Vermont, somewhere up there.
Yeah,
for the game
Northeast.
Kingdoms of Amalur. I'm a little bit wary of this kind of stuff. It does not have a stellar history. Jesus fuck, what the hell are some of these creatures weak to?
It's probably better for Poland than it is for Massachusetts. That's what it was.
Yes.
I think.
It was one of the M ones.
Yeah. M out of money. So, let's see.
Yeah, they gave them way too much money.
Yeah. That project could have done with a cost-benefit analysis of some sort. Alright, some steel killer better revive me, that's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, these enemies are just like immune to all the elements. Why the hell even use elemental weapons on them if they're all immune? Anyways, a chart on the NCBR's website shows that CD Projekt Red's 4 approvals were for research and development related to, quote, city creation, seamless multiplayer, cinematic feel, and animation excellence. A lot of those things I'm not entirely enthused about. This doesn't necessarily...
Well, I mean, how is this bad, though?
Well, there's just a lot of gameplay elements that I'm not...
A proven company is getting money.
I'm not interested in a lot of these gameplay elements.
Games better.
It's a totally personal thing. I don't care about a lot of these elements in games. Okay, whoever did that much damage to them, what the fuck are these things weak to?
I'm using explosive.
I think that was one of the sirens.
It's fucking Sarah or fucking...
Because I cannot figure out what these
Jared
damn
has,
things are.
like, special damage abilities.
Okay.
Yeah, my phase lock adds, you know...
This doesn't necessarily mean that a future CD Projekt game could have city building or seamless multiplayer components. Then why the hell are they researching it? It could be for multiple projects. Everyone is looking at this going, oh my god, this is going to make Cyberpunk 2077 the best game ever made. They did just make a massive Gwent game, right? That fits the multiplayer bill more than Cyberpunk 2077 might. Now, city building, that does seem cyberpunk. So, are we gonna... Greg is gonna go on the record saying this is not necessarily a bad thing.
I don't see how it could be.
I'm
It's
a little...
grant.
I'm a little more wary. That's just me. I think CD Projekt has done a lot of good with relatively limited funding so far compared to other studios. It seems that the more grandiose a studio gets and the more money they throw at something, the less the results match the investment. But I might be oversimplifying things.
That's what you're worried about.
I'm
then.
a little paranoid. Oh, I guess we're getting back to the everything kills you in 3 hits part of the game.
Well, yeah. Still didn't get our weapon upgrades.
I was hoping to be done with that for a little bit. I know, I should know better.
Silly.
Should have known better.
All right, I'll try to have faith in CD Projekt, but I'm not much on the blind faith type thing. Even when it's a company that's done pretty well up until now, I'm always waiting for them to fuck up and piss me off.
And disappoint you.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's why...
There's a good way to live.
I'll critique somebody's... yeah, I think it's cautious. I'll critique somebody's favorite studio or pet series or whatever, and they'll come back and go, well, what about Fallout or what about The Witcher? They haven't fucking been perfect all the time. I'll list their faults, and I'm not saying The Witcher 4... if it happens, would be flawless because of The Witcher 3. That's the difference. So, be pessimistic and be...
Wow, they actually had a Dark Souls reference.
Yeah, there's all kinds of Souls references. All those bonfires were Souls references.
Yeah, I guess. That one was way more obvious, though.
There's a Dark Souls reference in the main game.
Yeah. Be pessimistic and you'll be pleasantly surprised, or you won't be disappointed. So I think it's just an all-around safer bet. My philosophy there. Alright, and one last story I want to talk about.
Get your ammo back.
Naughty Dog's Uncharted and The Last of Us franchises might never have existed if it had not been for the developer's decision to sell itself to Sony more than a decade ago. That's according to founder Jason Rubin, as he apparently told IGN in an interview. It made sense, he said. Our relationship with Sony was already so intertwined and magical and amazing. Enough superlatives there, buddy. That certainties for both parties made a lot of
the
sense.
The bosses are listening.
We get it. Your nose is sufficiently brown.
By the way, Gamer Guides is an excellent source for all your video game guide needs.
E-books are so much better than the Prima and Brady games and even piggyback bullshit because we can update ours at any time. We've got a talented staff. We're constantly working to update our guides and our service and our...
Jesus. I kind of lit the fuse, but you ran with it there, didn't you?
We've got a wonderful work environment, and I mean, at $10 a guide, give or take, it's kind of a steal. Are you listening, bosses? Anyways, let me get on to reading my story. Stop segueing into comedy skits. It was the right decision for Naughty Dog. Look at where Naughty Dog is today. As an independent, I don't think Naughty Dog could have done that. I don't think you'd have these games, he said, presumably referencing the Uncharted and Last of Us franchises. Is it really a franchise if the second game isn't even out yet? It's just one game right now.
Maybe he's referring to all the other franchises they've done?
You mean Uncharted? Because that's the only other one they've done in forever. Okay. Pretty clear that Fire
Wait, really?
is not the way to... What else have they done? Okay.
Maybe in forever, but... Then they just re-release all those Crash Bandicoot games?
Yeah, but those aren't new. He's talking about the he's talking about the new franchise.
For me lately?
Well, he's talking about the new franchises he made. That they made. Both have gone on to be critical and commercial successes. As if one
Naughty Dog's
precision.
not doing the remasters.
True, that is true there too. So, I don't know. I have to bring up The Witcher again. Oh, we wouldn't have had the money to make good games if it wasn't for being owned by Sony. Why? CD Projekt did just fine. They just actually had to build up by making a modest budget good game, and then a middle budget good game, and then a high budget good game. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but they used Polish immigrants.
They
Everyone
used-
knows they work for cheap.
They used Polish or Slavic techno sorcery. I love that fucking meme with a passion. So, and who knows, the cost of operating out of Poland, out of Krakow, or is it Warsaw? Who knows? Wherever the fuck they are, might be significantly cheaper. But nothing stopping game developers, presumably, from moving to Poland, where they can afford to make video games. If every developer who wanted to and had the ability moved to Poland and was able to develop AAA RPGs for half the cost, how could that be anything but a bad thing? So,
Especially with the government giving them all that money.
yeah, I know.
Money.
Poland's just desperate to give money away. It's like, oh, The Witcher, people know us for something, aside from getting invaded.
Maybe all their supervisors are German. Whoa, come on.
No,
Shit.
there'd be a lot more.
Hey.
There'd be a lot more Muslim immigration if it were, and I don't think Poland would be giving money to game studios if that was the case.
Especially ones as sexy
Well,
as
their
The Witcher.
president is Polish. He just hires all the supervisors to be German. More productivity.
As a German myself, I will say that the stereotype of German efficiency and hardworkingness is... I embody that to be false. So there, I can't think of a more polite way to say that. I'm also part Polish too, so maybe I'm just covering. Alright, and I think that is all the stories I have to talk about today, which means we can move on to the fun shit. Oh, got something
Well,
to say, Drake?
speaking of Uncharted,
Go for it.
there was a story. The motion capture director
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
died. Yeah, he was 87 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's familiar with Helen Hunt. You know, the actress. It was her
Yeah.
father.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same dude?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was 87. He done a bunch of shit. So I'll read it off after, when we don't die. With all these fucking enemies that came out of nowhere.
That's kind of the whole game, though.
RKU out of nowhere.
Quit being a wrestling nerd, woman.
Shut up.
We did Uncharted 3, The Last of Us, the Vita Uncharted game. We worked on God of War, SOCOM, Lair, Tomb Raider.
Wow.
We also did animated shows, like Scooby-Doo, the Jetsons, the Flintstones. So he had a lot of high-profile shit in his resume.
That makes a lot of sense now for Amy Hennig to be talking about it on Twitter. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be. And it's sad that he's dead, but at 87, that's a good life. That's a good life.
Well, he had Parkinson's.
Ow. Especially 87 with Parkinson's. That's
Yeah.
once you start getting up into that 90-ish range, you've done good.
Who was it that died at age 99 or whatever reason?
I don't know.
That
You
chick.
talking about that actress, Zsa Gabor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Zaza Gabor. She had a good run.
Yeah.
99. Can't argue that that's a long life.
So, all right. Now we can finally talk about, I guess, Greg and Rebecca's new obsession. Go, take it away, Greg.
Hold on.
I just
White
had
Knight.
to get through one day on the game before coming here.
Oh, it is
Podcast. I
rolling.
said just one game or one day, just one day,
Just one day.
just one
And
day.
did that end up being one day?
Yeah, actually it did because I was asleep because my stomach hurt.
Oh.
I had a tummy ache, so I took a nap.
Alright, so the game he's talking about is Stardew Valley. Rather new. Well, not a new release. New release for PS4.
Yeah.
It's been out on PC for quite a while. But it is a farming simulator, and I have been obsessed with it.
Like Harvest Moon.
Okay, now you have
Yeah,
to tell me.
like Harvest Moon.
Before we go on, we call it a farming sim, and that's fair. But does Harvest Moon have relationships and all the different crafting and
Well, you have to remember how many Harvest Moons have there been.
enough that they should have?
Which Harvest Moon are you talking
No,
about?
the last one. Enough that they should have all the shit that Stardew Valley has. Which wasn't
They have
Stardew
had-
Valley made by one guy?
Yes.
So completely?
Go on Harvest
know.
Moon. Let's Harvest Moon. How are you stacking up?
Well, thankfully enough, I guess, in this instance, I have played the latest Harvest Moon. Not nearly as much as I have Stardew Valley, and that's because I find Stardew Valley just way better overall. I mean, Stardew Valley it's reminiscent of the old Super Nintendo style graphics, you know. Everything's 16-bit at most. And the latest Harvest Moon is 3D, to be fair. But, yes, I mean, personal opinion, of course, Stardew Valley just blows Harvest Moon out of the water. Way more variety. There's fucking crafting, there's cooking, there's way more crops to grow and ship.
Fishing, character interaction.
Fishing, character interaction, character development.
Dungeons you can explore.
Harvest Moon has the vast majority of those things as well.
Okay.
Man,
Harvest Moon
Stardew Valley has a lot more character development than I
right?
expected. Like, I'm just going along, and the closer you get to them, and you unlock the cutscenes with them, and you just find out so much about the characters, and I'm like, I did not expect that.
Stardew Valley has better characters and character development than Final Fantasy 15 so far.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying too.
That's sad. So I mean, Harvest Moon has the majority of these things. It's got fishing. It's got some crafting, but not nearly as good. It does not have combat. Stardew Valley has that over it for sure. It's 3D if that matters at all. You can actually terraform your farmland.
Now that
which
is cool.
you can in Stardew Valley. It's a lot of work to do, but you can do it. But that's about the only positive that Harvest Moon has over Stardew Valley, in my opinion.
Ouch.
The 3D, the graphics, they don't look that good to begin with. The characters are just shitty. You have, I think it's a total of 6 bachelors, 6 males and 6 females you can get married to on Stardew Valley, and you can even be gay if you wanted to. You can marry a male if you're a male character.
I've got a couple girlfriends and boyfriends.
Yeah. Harvest Moon, on the other hand, has 3 of each. The latest game, which is Skytree Village, has 3 of each. 3 females, 3 males. And they are just, like, okay, the females. One of them's like the innkeeper's daughter, and she's French.
Saucy.
And she has the depth of a wet paper towel. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing how much better Stardew Valley is written.
With one guy.
With one guy. I mean, I haven't looked to see if it's all made by one guy, but I'll take your word for it. But yeah, it's very well done. The 16-bit graphics are very, very pretty. Like, have you ever played Secret of Mana?
Just a little bit.
Like, those were pretty graphics back in the day, remember? The lush trees, the vines growing over shit. Just how overall pretty the 16-bit was. Just like Final Fantasy VI. Just like Secret of Mana. It is just like Chrono Trigger. These graphics are very pretty for 16-bit era.
Now, are you just personally predisposed towards 16-bit graphics?
I do like them. I am older.
Okay.
But the graphics in Harvest Moon are just not detailed at all. They got that chibi character look and the big fat heads and
you sound like me right now.
Yeah, a little.
And I'm going to go take something out of your playbook. I actually can handle a pretty diverse array of graphics from... Like, I like the Stardew Valley graphics just fine. Not in the least because I was able to pretty faithfully recreate my Saints Row character in that game. I like the cel-shaded kind of Dragon Quest look. And I like the super realistic Witcher 3 look. So I think I have a wide palette when it comes to graphical styles I will tolerate. To toot my own horn. Especially since someone says that I lack diversity in my gameplay selection.
Who says that?
Some asshole.
Oh, okay.
No one anyone would really pay any attention to, but I dig Stardew Valley a lot. I'm not as far along as you two, obviously. I haven't even hit winter yet, but
winter. It slows down in winter quite a bit.
It's a super...
As you can imagine.
See, winter is good for getting, like, your relationship status super high with people. And
going into the dungeons.
You can go into the mines without having to worry about spending all that time, on your farm.
There's 120 levels.
Your farm on the normal season, it's fucking noon. What the hell can you do at that point?
Yeah, well, I mean, no, I like that because I find myself planning out what I'm going to do each day. Like, no, I got to do this, and it kind of seems like a real sort of...
I wasn't complaining. I'm saying the difference is, during the growing season, you're a farmer. You can farm, and you can choose to, on one day, you'll fish for, a few hours, or... the next day, you might go into the mines for a little while. And each day, you're trying to talk to the townspeople.
And that girl you want, or that boy, or whatever.
Time is definitely
I'm gonna get them all to 10 fucking stars before I even marry anyone. Or 10 hearts, whatever.
I like that time is a commodity, and it is. And it forces you to kind of make sacrifices. Sometimes you have to choose. Yeah. Am I going to go to the tavern and, yuck it up with people? Or am I going to spend the afternoon cutting down trees so I can get some coal so I can build some more stuff,
So here's an example of the kind of depth you can expect out of the leading to farm sims on the market. In Harvest Moon, your mining consists of going to this mine, going to one of three screens, and hitting a boulder 4 or 5 times until it gives you something random, right? In Stardew Valley, you have a 120 level dungeon that you have to traverse through and sometimes fight your way to different mining ores that you can, several different types of ores and minerals and all this other shit. That you have to fight your way through and to. It's night and day difference. Oh, and Stardew Valley has 5 different skills you can level up.
Yeah, let's just take this down. There's 5 different skills, each of which has
combat, farming, foraging, mining, and fishing.
Yes, 5. Each one of which has 10 skills. When you reach level 5 in any one of the branches, you have to choose between one of 2 professions. And then when you hit level 10 in a skill, you get to make another choice. You can either kind of do
That's based off your first choice.
You can essentially advance the first profession choice you made into 2 different directions. And you level up by using. Every level along the way, you gain some random perk. Not random. You gain some perk to your performance in that skill. Yeah. There are about 30 characters-ish. There's some kids, there's some adults, there's people that are too old to bother with you. There are people you can romance. I don't know if everyone is player sexual. There's the old homeless.
They seem to be.
There's the old homeless guy, right? Everyone knows him. There's the mayor.
He's a mountain man. He's not homeless. He's homeless
he lives in a tent, whatever. There's the fisherman. There's the animal farmer.
Blacksmith.
Yeah, the blacksmith. The black scientist and his mixed race daughter and his wife, and who's a carpenter.
There's Sebastian, who is completely white, so clearly not.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows the backstory there, right?
I want to know the backstory.
There is the innkeeper.
There is a backstory, by the way. You learned it.
All these characters, right? They have their own cycle that changes based on the time of day and the season that it is. Some of them will go to work. Some of them will go fuck around on the beach. One of them, a spoiled little cunt called Haley, will just bitch about everything all day and night.
No, as you get your affection up with her, she starts to...
At the beginning, she
starts to develop as a character.
There's Alex,
you can say stuff to her that makes her not such a bitch.
There's Alex, the local wannabe sports star who runs an ice cream stand in the summer, and who constantly talks about how he's going to work out and go pro. They all have their stories that they reveal to you as you gain hearts with them, and they reveal their backstories, and some of them are kind of fucking dark. Like, you go to Shane's room one day and you find out that he's fucking, he has an overdose. He's passed out after drinking too much, and he's pretty much just a burnout working at a dead-end JoJo Mart job, which is their Walmart.
Fucking mimic.
Yeah.
And
you know, the bigger storyline is you either help JoJo Mart or you restore the town's community center.
There's a community center you can do quests for, or you can buy a JoJo Mart membership, in which case they bulldoze the community center, and so the world kind of changes based on what you do. There are little festivals. You gain hearts with people by talking to them every day, by making various dialogue choices. Yeah, their choices have outcomes that matter. You can give them gifts. They have things they like and dislike. And this is just the fucking community aspect that you don't even really have to deal with all that much. You can just sit there and farm.
Yeah, if you don't want to. You can just farm the whole time.
You can grow various crops. You can grow vegetables.
Everyone.
You can grow trees. You can grow fruits. You can turn them into jams. You can age them into alcohol. There is a ridiculous amount of content in this game.
You can cook them into meals.
You can build yourself a kitchen and then make meals.
Actually save up 10 grand for a kitchen.
You can marry these townspeople. You can have kids with them. Jesus fucking Christ. This game is ridiculous in its depth.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It's definitely worth the $15 or whatever.
No, it is not worth $15. It's worth $30. If you buy it at $15, you are robbing this fucking guy. Go buy it. So, from what I've played of it so far,
he's done well.
He's done well, yes. If this is the only thing you make gaming-wise, there's all these game developers out here. All these people, fucking, getting into gaming is so hard. It may well be, because obviously this dude knows how to animate really fucking well. He knows his pixel art shit. He is good at scripting all these events and putting them together in a cohesive way, but god damn it, anyone can get in there and do it. I don't care if this guy is the most gifted motherfucker in the world. It's one fucking person. And if he is able to make this game and sell as well as he did, you don't really have an excuse, right? I don't think you do. So,
not if you really want to get into it.
So there you fucking go. Get this game if you like anything from the romance aspect to the farming to just making a bunch of money. It's a fucking chill as shit game. I think I'm the only one that's actually playing it that way, but I will get done with working on Final Fantasy 15 and I will be relieved to go start up Stardew Valley and play a superior game.
A superior game.
I'm not
Final Fantasy.
I'm not pulling punches.
It's pretty much my top pick for 2016.
Really?
Your
top? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd go that far.
The games that came out that I played.
It's definitely in my top 5.
See, I don't know if I'm going to do my own GOTY at the end of January.
I'm getting the most enjoyment out of than anything else.
But I think it would be nice at some point to do a 3G pick where we all just say our GOTY, and it will just be personal preference. You can get as in-depth about it as you want. You can go, well, this technical aspect makes this game more... And you just go, nah, I just enjoyed playing it the most. I think we'll just be very chill about it and kind of go on.
You know, fuck these dragons.
They are kind of annoying, aren't they? But, that's perfectly fine. If Rebecca...
That's why I said fuck them.
If Rebecca just goes... Oh, I didn't know what we were doing. I'm just talking and killing shit. So if Rebecca wants to go on and say Stardew Valley #1 for the year, cool.
I think it might be my #1 for the year. It's the thing I've had the most enjoyment playing this year.
I've got a number of picks. There's Salt and Sanctuary, which was really high up there for me. There's
I keep thinking that was 2015.
No, that was this year. There's Darkest Dungeon. There's Deus Ex. I want to get to Dishonored.
I forgot about Darkest Dungeon.
I think I've eliminated Final Fantasy 15 from contention.
For you, yeah.
For me, yes, definitely. So, yeah.
Darkest Dungeon and Stardew Valley. I don't know if I can say that.
Oh, right. There was a news story Jared shared with me where they are implementing a new gameplay mode to Darkest Dungeon. I can't remember what they were calling it, but it's supposed to allow you to complete...
Radiant something?
Radiant, yeah. Radiant or Shining. It's supposed to allow you to complete the game in around 40 hours. Gives more people a realistic opportunity to make it through. And they're also planning to add like a new game plus hard mode or something. And I'm just like, why do you need a fucking hard mode on this game?
I couldn't imagine a hard mode.
I mean, I'm not saying that the game is impossible. I've made it to beat some veteran level bosses. But, you know, that game is so random it can just come out of nowhere and fuck you. What do you need a hard mode for? Your best preparations could all come to naught through no fault of your own. That's hard enough, I think. So, lots of contenders still on my list for GOTY 2016.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Darkest Dungeon. I don't know. I still get mad at it. I think it might be... It's a really good game, but I might put it as my #2.
I do have one negative thing to say about Stardew Valley, though.
It gives me too much stress for it to be my #1.
Are we all ready for my negative comment on Stardew Valley?
There's a couple
for the new people to the podcast.
There's a couple negative things.
I need a chill game. I can't be getting stressed out on my days off.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley is like your perfect chill game.
It really is.
I know.
There is I was putting fertilizer on the ground the other day, and a box of fertilizer just went on the ground somehow, and it's sitting there blocking my movement into that square. I can water underneath it, but I can't like mine it up or anything. So I've got this little box of fertilizer sitting there in the middle of my crops that I can't do anything with. And I'm hoping it goes away at some point, but it hasn't yet. So,
I have 2 of those.
Oh, okay, so it's happened to you.
And they are annoying as fuck. I've had 2 of them, and one of them's been there for 3 seasons.
So they don't go away ever?
I was hoping that it would, become winter and it would go away. Nope.
Yeah, I was hoping it would go away when I could harvest. Okay, so everyone listening, don't use fucking fertilizer. It is glitched. They did a patch recently. I want to say that might be what did it.
I mean, I would still say use it.
No, it's just...
You still get better grade crops, which is more money, which
I can't bring myself, because if it's going to just glitch out a section of my farm, no. No way, man.
Yeah, that's tough to justify.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll patch it out.
Yeah, I mean, how long ago did this first happen to you? Because I was hoping that it was something they fucked up and patched in, but...
That orc was carrying a, did you see he was carrying a barrel, like a shock barrel?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Right, I need to learn to shoot the barrels out of these things' hands. Orc Zerker.
I mean, it happened probably 2-3 days ago. They definitely need to fix it.
Yeah, there was a patch around then, I think. I think that's what did it. Well, I don't know. Can't really say. But don't use fertilizer, as of now. Unless you want to...
I used fertilizer before the patch and didn't get that problem.
Yeah, well, sometimes it doesn't happen, so it's hard to tell.
I used a lot of fertilizer.
Oh. Yeah, maybe it was
So
hopefully
statistically, it probably.
Well, there's different types of fertilizer too.
Hopefully they can.
I've only
high premium kind.
Oh, I only use.
I've only had the glitch happen with the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, don't be cheap.
Well, what the hell else am I going to use sap for?
You can craft it cheap.
I know.
Yeah, the high quality stuff is the same recipe, except for you have to add a fish to it. One fish per fertilizer
I got it as
thing.
a reward for something.
Get away from me, Warlord Targe! Someone face block him. Okay, he's going after someone else. Fantastic. I'm just going to shoot you in the ass with my dual pistols and my B.
Okay, he's bigger now and has had a name change.
Oh, he's a
He's almost dead.
He's a nasty little orc bastard, ain't he?
I wouldn't call him little.
So I think
Does anybody else get sad when their B is down?
Yes.
Can somebody raise me?
I took it off actually.
Please.
So I think we can all agree Stardew Valley kicks ass, and Jared is the odd duck out for not having it, but I'm sure he'll remedy that situation eventually. Just through the force of peer pressure.
It's in my cart.
Oh, is it?
It's good for relaxation, so when you get overwhelmed writing, it's definitely good for...
On some good Jared-related news, he did buy himself a 2 terabyte hard drive. So, ESO is no longer a distant what-if option. It is a live option as soon as he gets it installed.
And much to Nathan's dismay, I did buy other stuff.
Oh, what else did you buy?
Remain nameless.
No, name it. You can't say it and then not name it.
There's Skylanders figures.
Okay, right. You and your 75-cent Skylanders figurines.
Yeah, how could you pass up?
75 cents.
Yeah, they were on sale for 75 cents.
Hey, that's I might buy those. Like if I saw that, I'd probably buy a whole bunch of them for Sadie. For my daughter. Totally.
Sure. Yep.
Totally for my daughter.
And if I buy a naked Geralt calendar, it'd totally be for Rebecca.
Well, it would be my birthday present, so you better let me finish off.
See, I was obviously joking, and then Nathan went and
were you obviously joking?
Stuff to us.
I don't care who knows it. Jared's a sexy man, and he gets himself all the poontang because of it.
You said Jared?
Geralt.
Geralt.
I think you said Jared.
Did I accidentally Freudian slip and say Jared?
Sound like Jared.
Damn, I outed myself.
You outed yourself more than once on this podcast. I'm really just his beard. He has more than one beard, by the way.
I do. I have a physical beard
and the one on his face.
And then I have a female beard.
Now the dwarves hate us.
Oh, they do?
Their king explode.
Well, maybe your king shouldn't be so sucky and explodey. Speaking of games that are live options for podcasting, I played...
getting smashed by the badass dwarf.
Oh, well, you should stop doing that. I played a little bit of Trove earlier today. It's more of a Borderlands Minecraft clone than a actual builder game. You can build a little bit, but only in your in the area you can claim, your haven, whatever it's called. But it actually plays really fun. I decided to play a necromancer, and I can summon little skeletons to hit things and act as decoys for me, and then I can shoot them with my wand while they distract everything. It's kind of neat. I like it. But there is one...
go ahead.
Okay, there's one crippling podcast candidate killing problem with the game right now. It has no trophies.
Oh, are you serious?
No trophies.
There's trophies on PSN profiles, but
it's not a finished version of the game that we're playing right now, so trophies are not live. So,
oh, well.
We're just gonna have to wait, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta get finished first.
But it is a lot of fun, just going around and killing shit. They have dungeons you can explore, and, Diablo-style loot drops. So, there's not that much. There's only like 3 items you can equip that I've seen. A weapon, a hat, and a face mask. But, there's a variety of classes, and you can customize your character a bit, so it's kind of neat. Especially for the entry cost, right?
Yeah, the price is right.
Hopefully it stays that way, but we'll see. Shut up, Claptrap. No one cares. So, have we covered all of our obsessions, all of the news, everything we want to even remotely talk about this week?
Well, I want to ask BK what he got as his Winter Festival present.
Oh. She wants to show off, Greg. Say something really awesome.
As my Winter Festival present.
Yeah, it's from your Secret Santa.
Oh, boy. Who did I get? I got... So I'm almost to the Winter Festival in year 2.
I had to give to Abigail.
I got Demetrius, and I'm pretty sure he gave me some shell or some nonsense. It was definitely not noteworthy. And I got
some people on the interwebs
Clint.
were saying that your affection with the person helps determine what they give you.
Oh yeah, this was way before I gave any fucks about caring about any villagers besides like the person I was going to marry.
Well, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I spent most of winter schmoozing people, and I got my happy up with a lot of people. And I had Elliot as my Secret Santa, and he gave me a light ring that allows me to, I think it's called a glow ring or something. It emits light, so I can actually work at night and be able to see now, and be in the mines where it's super dark and see.
Oh.
It's random.
Oh, Rebecca. So my character has a Mega Light brand. And a Mega Magnetic ring. So yeah.
So Greg just wants to go.
For free.
I'm gonna wipe my shit all over your face.
I got mine from some monster drop, I think.
Oh wow.
Or it may have been from exploring the mines, I forget. I will say that if you ever get a prismatic charge, or a prismatic shard, my bad, you need to save it. Save it until you can get to the desert, and there will be like this triangular rock formation, and you use it in the middle of the rock formation, and you get pretty much the best sword in the game.
Oh wow,
cool. Oh, save it.
Yeah, it's like a rainbow-looking shard thing.
That game is just so much tits. I can't say enough good stuff about it.
So who are you married to again? I forget.
I'm not married yet.
Oh, that's right.
I am dating several people. I am dating Sam, Shane, Harvey, Abigail, and Emily.
Slut.
I'm dating all of them.
Emily's a weird little, weird person. I picked Abigail, and some mornings she will go out to that little garden area behind your house, and she'll just play her flute. And
I've seen her doing that before.
The sprite animation on that just reminds me so much of like Legend of Zelda.
Link to the Past.
Yeah, Link to the Past.
Yeah, I'm just murdering a bunch of dwarves here, I guess.
Yeah, that game is definitely the shit. It is downright impressive.
BK, you killed that thing, and now I'm still dying.
Oh.
Is it gonna make you rethink any possible goatee picks, Greg?
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely makes your choices harder.
Oh shit.
Shit, it may be mine too. it may be #1 for Rebecca and me.
See, I've got this dumb rule.
Dishonored 2 was good.
I got this dumb rule where I want to beat the game before I say it, so.
Is there really a beat?
Can you beat it? It doesn't end.
Yeah, who knows?
It's kind of like, well, I suppose it probably
without fully
has
upgrading my house, without reaching the bottom of the mine, without getting married, without completing a year, I can't say.
There is a quote unquote end to the game though. after I think it's once you reach year 3, I think it is. It's either the beginning or the end of year 3. I forget. I can't quite remember. But the ghost of your grandpa comes and evaluates how you've done.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And so many people consider that to be like the quote-unquote end, but obviously it continues on.
Well, I have to admit, the device they use to get you into Stardew Valley is kind of weak, but whatever. It's also kind of apropos, though, because everyone playing Stardew Valley is probably like, yeah, this is exactly what I want out of a game. Just let me chill and get away from all the bullshit in my life.
Yeah. I think it might be a... And this is... After watching that South Park episode, I really don't want to say this, but I think that might be one of the statements that the creator is trying to make.
What South Park episode?
The book one.
Yeah, okay.
That dwarf just saying it was off to hell I go.
Where they're reading into the meaning of the books.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, where Stan, Kyle, and Cartman write the grossest book ever, but people keep attributing bullshit meaning to it. Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one.
That makes sense. Alright, so, are we done? Do we got everything that we want to talk about so far?
Oh, what else? What else came out? I know there was more that came out that I wanted to bring up.
Shantae,
thank you, sir. Shantae's out. The new Shantae game. The game Nathan doesn't care about at all because he's never tried it.
Fucking mimic.
She's too sexist.
She's too sexist?
Yeah. It's all sexual objectification and the male gaze.
It's the second time that mimic thing fucking scared me.
It's hard to argue that game isn't just completely full of sexist imagery. I'm assuming the new one has it as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think many people would be disappointed if it didn't. She's a strong genie and don't need none of your opinion.
She's too strong to be help. She's too strong to be hurt by the male gaze.
She's risen past the danger of male gaze.
She's overcome it, yeah. Alright, tell us about Shantae. Go on. Get it over with.
I know nothing about it. I haven't played it. It is out, though.
Okay.
Came out today.
This very day?
So, I mean, it's this very day. Very day, good sir.
Not tomorrow?
It's a Metroidvania game. I mean, if you like the Metroidvania, become stronger over time, power up, etc., you're probably gonna like Shantae.
I do like that, but I also don't like
platforming. This one was kickstarted.
So I'm assuming that's
definitely
a no-go.
Platforming.
Yeah.
It definitely has platforming. I'm sure of it. This one was actually kickstarted. So many people have been waiting on it for quite a while.
Well, it can't be that
and
good.
It's probably...
If it had to be kickstarted.
Yeah, well, I mean, Way Forward has had plenty of contracts over the years. They've made plenty of games that have been hit or miss. Like, did you ever play that Double Dragon Neon?
Fuck no.
No?
No.
What do you mean, fuck no? That's a great game.
I never even heard of it.
Are you serious?
I'm super serial.
You need to go look it up after we're done with this podcast, because it is 80s-tastic. Totally a word. They took the cheese, they embraced it. It's a short little game. It's a co-op brawler. It's like they remade the first Double Dragon game.
Yeah, I got enough of that kind of genre back in the Genesis when I played Streets of Rage. I don't need to go there again.
That was a great series.
I like Streets of Rage.
They kind of fucked it up with Streets of Rage 3, but oh well.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 2 was tits, though.
Speaking of platforming.
No.
We have to jump on these things?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, I don't wanna. This is not my forte.
So I'm content to just let you guys cross unless we have to all be there.
Oh.
Oops.
Does this one not want to...
Yeah. I'll make it doable.
I'll make it doable. You bitch. Is it doable yet?
No. Look at all this shit's moving around. I ain't fucking with that. I will let Jared... Oh, Jared stuck it. Good job, Jared. He is a better platforming monkey than I am.
Oh, they want you to do other stuff. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, now we have to jump over here. I hate platforming. Only Jared knows how much I hate platforming. And everyone watching.
Only Jared knows?
And, well, I bitched to him about it more than most anyone else. And you wonder why I hate Tiny Tina.
This is not helping, but...
No. Yeah,
Salt and Sanctuary had a shit ton of platforming.
And it was easily my least favorite part of the game.
And the platforming where, you know, if you fucked up, you're dead.
It was my least favorite part of the game, I have to admit. Alright.
I'm going to jump in the chasm, I think. Oh,
so, let's move on to things in gaming this year that we are thankful for. Just to bring the Christmas time into the podcast. Or something.
You should sing a little Christmas doodle.
I don't really know any. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh, it's just...
Well, don't fucking tell me to sing and then bitch about it.
A doodle, not words. No one wanted to hear words. Ugh. You went and fucked that up.
Jeez, you can't please people.
I have no idea what I'm doing, Rebecca, by the way. I'm not sure following me is not the best idea.
Yeah, Jared's over here, so I assume I'm...
Why are there no fucking...
where I need to be?
Reconstruction zones closer? Like... How did we end up way back here? This is... ridiculous.
Well, one thing I'm thankful of, that I can say, because I just organized my video games yesterday. They were kind of just piling up everywhere, because... they all came in, we'd been shopping for a long time. And so they ended up on my table and on the computer desk and all other places. So I organized them, and I counted them, and I have about 50 physical PS4 games. So one of the things I'm thankful for is the fact that there are so many good physical games worth buying this generation. Which is pretty much the antithesis to anything you will see on GameFAQs. There are a lot of them. They're all in alphabetical order, too. I could read them out if I had to, but...
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's what...
I'm not going to. But how many of them I've actually played and or beaten? Far less than 50. But hey.
That's right, I forgot.
Gives me something to do.
I think I have about 37, 38 physical ones.
Yeah, there's been a number of them. And I'm not even counting, like... Dragon Age Inquisition is in Rebecca's room right now, and... so is Minecraft, and I have a few more coming in for Christmas. So I'm probably at around 53.
That's quite a bit.
That's not bad. So it's hard for me to take it seriously when people whine about there not being any games to play. They're games to play, you just have shit taste.
Okay, let me get my thankfulness out of the way before somebody steals it. By far, probably, 3 of my top 5 games this year are indie games. Salt and Sanctuary, Stardew Valley, Darkest Dungeon. So many good indie games. God damn. I mean, there's been a lot of really horrible, bad ones that people what's the game I'm thinking of? Hello Game, No Man's Sky. That just came off horribly. But
What
damn,
about
have
Mighty
we
Number
ever gotten? So yeah, Mighty Number 9. There's a great one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have we ever gotten some gems?
I will second that. It's a shame people mischaracterize indie games by the worst of the bunch to try and define the whole, but some of the best games in this generation that I've played, and usually for a pittance, if anything at all, have been indie games. So, Terraria, Rogue Legacy, Minecraft. Well, I guess it wasn't indie when I bought Minecraft, but Darkest Dungeon, Divinity: Original Sin. Fuck, there's all kinds of good indie games out there.
Hey,
So.
Rebecca, come here. Come back here.
You can smash me.
Huh? What?
You're
What are you talking about?
wanting to smash me in the little thing.
No. Damn it! Why you gotta be smart?
I'm not an idiot.
Yeah,
Greg.
trying to trick her
Not
in video
think
games.
about me.
Trying to trick
Fuck
her in
you,
video
Greg.
games usually doesn't work, from experience. I have a friend who will attest sadly to that fact.
God. I didn't know you hated me that much, Greg. I know you regularly refuse to send me party invites, but...
There's a reason
It would have
why.
been better if, like, Nathan was watching us. So we could get it.
Alright.
I have
Jared,
no idea where you guys
for
are
you,
or how
I
to
already
get
know
there.
what that thing does.
Jared, what are you thankful for this year? I'm gonna mandate everyone has to have something they're thankful for.
Well, I'm trying not to die.
Well, excuses. Oh, what the hell even hit me?
As he dies.
I don't know what hit me.
Um,
Oh well.
maybe
I don't know how
thankful
the
for
fuck to get
Square
to where
Enix
they
to
are.
finally fucking. I mean, besides the hiccups, call Final Fantasy 15. Finally realizing that, you know, there are actually fans of Dragon Quest over in the West.
Yeah, it's been a while,
They're
hasn't it?
actually releasing games.
So thank you, Square Enix, for giving us Dragon Quest VIII. I can get on board with that too.
We already had Dragon Quest VIII.
Or not Dragon Quest VIII, Dragon Quest XI. But they are giving us Dragon Quest VIII on the 3DS, so that might be another thing to be referring to.
Yeah, Dragon Quest 8, Dragon Quest Builders, which
Heroes.
is probably my personal game of the year.
Oh.
I need to play that more. I really do. And Rebecca, you're the last one. Be thankful, woman, but don't get mushy.
Well, Greg kind of took it.
So that's why I went.
Well, see, he tries to smash me and he steals the thing. No,
Greg's just the worst.
I don't know. I'm thankful that you have a job that allows me to actually buy games for myself, so that there's enough money for us, so that I can spend some of my money on games
Yeah, making money is pretty cool.
like Stardew Valley and stuff like that.
Making money playing games.
Making money playing games, writing guides, I'm thankful for that as well. The ability to do what I like doing enough that I did it for free on my spare time. Now I'm getting paid for
It allows me
it.
to have enough excess money beyond just supporting us that I can spend money on myself to buy games that I want instead of just us buying one copy and having to share it.
It's been a pretty cool year for games as far as that's gone. I'm thankful my employers live in the great country of England, which hopefully will be safe from all the bullshit going on in America for the next 4 years.
You can. Brexit paved the way for all this nonsense.
No, it didn't. They're related, but they're not causally related. Trump would have happened just fine without Brexit. Oop. There we go. And besides, they're getting out of
into this fire.
they're getting out of the EU. It's not like they're electing a game show host to their highest elected office. I mean, come on. There is a bit of a difference.
Oh god, that hurts to fucking be resurrected.
Well, oh, how much did it cost you?
80,000?
80,000.
Yeah.
How much money do you have again?
Over $1 million.
2 million?
Oh. I don't have 2 million.
I have 1.2 million, so I would not be happy dying. Which makes me wonder why the hell I am running off after.
Be up there.
Wow.
I grenade jumped up to a ledge and I went through an object, so I was like, okay.
This is not the way to go.
Don't follow Jared.
Alright. And anything else we're thankful for to close out this podcast?
My PlayStation 4.
2 terabyte hard drives that are easy to install.
Fuck yeah.
Amazon discounts on games.
Yeah, yeah, Amazon discounts help for sure.
And I'll say it for Jared. Gamers Club Unlimited.
Yep. Thank God for Best Buy and their GCU.
I don't know. A lot of people have been saying this is a shit year, but I think this has been a pretty good year, all things considered. Good year personally, you know. I'm going to ignore the shit extraneous to myself, like politics and other nonsense. You just focus on gaming. It's been a pretty good year. And I have no idea what I'm doing here, so I will let everybody else work with the puzzles.
I have no idea what's going on either.
Solve ancient...
I think Jared did it all.
I had no idea.
Alright. But I think that's enough for this podcast. I think we will be back. Let me get a specific date. The 27th, so right after Christmas. Maybe we'll have Christmas stories to tell. I will try to see if Seb and or Claire will join us for the post-Christmas podcast. We'll see. We'll see who we can all get. The more the merrier, I say. We should be done with the super busy workload for a little bit. 'Tis the season. So, until then, see you all next Tuesday, same time, 10 o'clock. Or sorry, 10:30 Central Time. That'll do it for episode 32.
Yay!